Mike Schloesser of the Netherlands will shoot first against Türkiye's Emircan Haney.
A little bit of an unexpected start from Mikey. A good start from Haney.
Still making a tiny adjustment though, the man from Türkiye.
The weather conditions have been getting a little worse since they were last on the field, so that might be the case why they have to change their site.
And a little bit of movement from Schlisser for a 29 out of 30. Haney dropping into the 9 with his last arrow, and so they are all square at 29 apiece. What an interesting reaction there from Mike Schloesser after the first 9. What I say reaction. Interesting that there was no reaction from Mike Schloesser after that first 9. And he said in the past, dropping a 9, if you're going to do it early because you've got time to recover and you're very likely to see your opponent drop at least 1 point in a match.
I think I really agree with that. He is usually known for dropping a 9 at the end, but maybe dropping a 9 at the very start is good in this case.
There was an opportunity for Haney to take a lead, but he dropped his first arrow, his last arrow into the 9. And we'll have a comparison here of the arrows. That looks pretty close, but Schlisser is in fact 2.4 centimeters on average closer to the center of the target. Well, just as we prepare for the second end, the rain has started to fall just a little bit heavier here. Conditions perhaps lending themselves to the more accomplished and more experienced Mike Schloesser. He'll shoot first in end number 2.
Just a little out, seems like it.
That wrist finger release from Emircan Haney.
His arrows are grouping a little bit to the left. Might be the wind.
Solid stuff from Haney, but we saw that from him in the first set. 2 10s followed by a 9.
By the X-ring.
Ten for the lead, and it's a perfect 30 for Emircan Haney, who does steal the lead, leading by a single point. A little bit of a huff and a puff there from Mike Schloesser.
Probably not too happy with his 9s, but nothing to do about it now.
So that arrow bottom left, look at that one. And the finger pointing down from the target judge would suggest that 9 is going to remain a 9. If the arrow clips the line at all, then you get a higher score. But scores confirmed to 29 in the second end for Mike Schloesser. Sees him trail his opponent by a single point. It's all now about whether Emircan Haney can hold his nerve here and remain perfect as the wind continues to fall. Just having to use all of their break in between ends to make sure that they can see the target clearly, using that camera blower to get rid of any moisture on the magnifying glass behind the sight. Behind the sight or in front of the sight? You'd probably say in front of the sight. In terms of looking at the piece of equipment.
I think it really depends on where the rain is falling, but it seems to be coming from the front.
And number 3, don't say this very often, Mike Schloesser trailing.
A good start. A little bit shaky. Really not wanting to let go of his lead, putting it right into the 10.
Oh, he's holding his nerve here. So 30 out of 30 for the first time in the match for Mike Schloesser. The second perfect in a row from Emircan Haney. So he maintains his lead by a single point after 3 ends. Haney leads Schloesser 89 to 88.
It really doesn't seem comfortable to be shooting there right now. Seems to be really windy and really much rain.
Good look at the shots from the archers. And following each other, just 0.3 of a centimetre distance difference between them from the centre of the target on the average of those last 3 arrows. Haney, though, with the commanding position of a 1-point lead.
Doesn't even seem to be that comfortable weather for the Dutchman. And it's pretty windy and rainy in Netherlands all the time.
It's not a face to see from Mike Schloesser very often. One of squinted confusion, I think, is the best way to describe that.
There's always a first time.
Oh, Gabby Schlisser looking on. Let's get a good close-up of the release aid being used by Mike Schloesser, thumb release. And number 4 starts with Schlisser in the middle of the target.
Ooh. And I'm from Emircan. Now tied 98-98. Seems to be just cutting the line. It's called a 10 in venue.
He wasn't sure either. He turned around to Gabby, who's got the scope, and she was able to confirm that. Gives the yep to tell us that that's gone into the 10 ring.
9.
Another 9.
So just like that, the match has changed hands. And leading by 1 after 3, now trails by 1 after 4. Well, some archers I've spoken to, I'm going to ask you as well, so they don't mind, especially in compound archery I'm talking about, they don't mind being one behind going into the final end because it means you shoot first and you have an opportunity to put pressure on your opponent. Agree or not?
If your nerves can handle it, then yeah. You just have to put in 3 good shots to really put the pressure on your opponent, and then you just have to wait and see what your opponent does.
Simple game in principle. Hit the gold, hit the middle of the target as many times as you can. These archers regularly do that, not only in competition, but even more so in training. But the game takes place really in between the ears, doesn't it?
It really does. You can do the same thing over and over again, but if you can't mentally manage it, manage the nerves, it might get a little bit harder.
Well, he's not doing too bad, Emircan Haney. He's kept Mike Schloesser honest through this match. He led by 1 point, but 3 arrows changed that in the last end, and Schlisser now leads by a single point. Haney will shoot first in this 5th and final regulation end.
Really fighting for those last 3 arrows and trying to put pressure on Mikey.
Whoa.
It was a little bit more shaky than usual.
Big opportunity here.
A little bit too long of a hold. But he puts it into the 10. Nice recovery.
He's definitely feeling it. He knows he's put himself in with a big chance here of knocking out the world number 2.
Both seem to be a little bit under pressure.
So all square going into the final arrow. Finger trigger release for Haney, and he puts it into the middle for his 3rd perfect of the match. Pressure on now for Mike Schloesser. Needs a 10 to force a shoot off, and he gets just that. So I'm reluctant to say, because you've seen the scores changing time and time again, but I've got that on my scorecard as 147, 147. We have it on the graphic as 147, 147. Are we going to have a shoot-off, Mary?
Yes, we will.
A place in the gold medal match here at Nanjing 2025 between Mike Schloesser and Emircan Haney could not be decided in 15 arrows, so it's time for the tiebreaker. So semi-final number 1 sees Schloesser and Haney tied and confirmed by the target judge. The 5 ends and 15 arrows. They cannot be separated. So we go to a sudden death shoot-off. Target faces will be replaced with brand new ones because the tiebreaker is decided first by score. If one person outscores the other, they win. If the scores are the same, then it's closest to the center of the target. And if that requires a measure, the judges would prefer the target not to have any other holes in it, so it's easy to do the measure.
A shoot-off is really a millimeters game. Usually compound men are pretty precise, so I'm really excited to see what they both will shoot. And who knows, maybe the weather will change and make it a little bit more difficult.
Oh, it's just layer upon layer with you, Mary, of intrigue and context, subterfuge. But, these two have got to keep it simple, haven't they? They've just got to shoot the middle of the target.
Yeah. Sounds easy.
So easy to say, isn't it? So easy to say. We've still got rain falling here in Nanjing, right by the river. The rain has just been trickling away for the most part of the day here. These two archers have got to put all of that out of their minds and just focus on their process trust that the performance will follow. Adding to the drama, we have the heartbeat sound effect. Place in the semi-finals, up for grabs. Thumb on the trigger for Mike Schloesser in the shoot-off. And that is a high 10. It's a 10, so it's good in terms of score, but there is room here for Haney to go inside it. And he's done just that, an X for Haney, and this is a bit of a surprise. You have to say, Emircan Haney is the world number 9. He's a darn good archer, but usually coming up against Mike Schloesser, you'd expect Schlisser to win, but not the case this year. Emircan Haney, on his debut, makes the gold medal match at the Archery World Cup Final.